Hello, and thank you for joining today's product capability demonstration of the new Web UI functionality, which has been rolled out in version 6.4.4 of Atomic Automation Intelligence. I'm Jennifer Chisik, the head of product for Atomic Automation Intelligence, and I'm happy to walk you through this new functionality. So the first thing for you to be aware of is that we are currently in the process of building a new fully functional Web UI for Atomic Automation Intelligence, which will eventually replace the thick client that you're probably using today. This new Web UI will be rolled out incrementally, and the first significant version of it was just released. This is version 6.4.4, and there's several new Web UI features that are now available to you, which I'll be demonstrating to you today. These include the system monitoring page, which will give you a view of the overall health and status of your AAI server and the schedulers that are connected to it. We'll also take a look at the new global job search functionality, the job details page, which will give you a view of everything that we know about your individual jobs, as well as some administrative functionality, such as business area management and user and domain management. Lastly, we'll also be taking a look at the integrated context-sensitive help, which is now available in the Web UI and will continue to evolve as the user interface itself evolves. So with that, I'm going to switch now to a demonstration of the new functionality. So the first thing that you'll notice is that when you navigate to the main URL for AAI, there's 3 links that are available to you. The first link will bring you to the thick client, which is the legacy user interface, which has all of the functionality that you're probably familiar with. There's also a link to Web UI, which is the older Web UI. And then lastly is the link to the new next generation user interface. This is the one that I'm going to click on now, and this is where all of the new functionality will reside. The first thing you'll notice after you log in is that you will be brought to the system monitoring page. So this is a new page which will give you the overall health and status of your AAI server. You can see in this case the version that we're running is 6.4.4, and this server has been up for 13 days. There's various other information. You can see here the memory consumption on the server, and if you want more details, you can click on more details and see even more of your system details available here. You also can see here the status of all of the schedulers that have been added to this particular AAI server, and you can add, edit, and delete schedulers from here as well. So if you want to add a scheduler, you can now do that from the Web UI. You click on Add Scheduler. You pick the type. It can be any of the supported types of schedulers. So you'll see Atomic Automation, AutoSys, CA7, Control-M, both distributed in mainframe, ESP, IWS mainframe, and Tidal Enterprise Scheduler. So you no longer need to use the thick client to add these, although you still can if you would like to for some of them. For each one that you select, there'll be a set of fields that you will enter. The fields are different for the different types of schedulers. So I've selected AutoSys, and now I'm prompted for the database information for AutoSys. If I were to select, for example, Atomic, I would be prompted for the REST API endpoint for Atomic, etc. Each one has its own set of controls that are specific to that scheduler. So that's available to you. Once a scheduler's been added, you can always click on that scheduler and edit or delete that scheduler as well. The next feature that I'd like to make you aware of is the ability to manage business areas. So if you click on business areas from the bottom entry in the menu on the left, you'll see that you have a tree of all of your business areas. From here, you can simply add new ones as you would like. And again, this is functionality that's available in the thick client, but if you prefer to manage your business areas through the Web UI, you now have that available to you. You can click on any business area and edit it, also delete it from here. Similarly, you have the ability to manage your user domains. If you click on user management, you'll see that there's a tab for all of your users as well as your domains. So you can add individual user domains here, reorder them. You'll notice when you add a domain, all of the different types of domains are available that AAI supports. So there's LDAP, EAM if you want role-based security, and Kerberos. So you can feel free to add your own distinct domains, and then from the users tab, you can manage the users. This is showing you a list of all of the users. If you want to filter it, you can always add a filter and say you're only interested in users where the name of the user starts with A, and then that will filter your list for you. So this concept of a table of data and the ability to filter it will be seen in various parts of the new UI as it evolves. You can add users here, etc. The next thing I'd like to draw your attention to is the global search, which is at the top of the screen. So you'll notice there's a large field at the top of the screen. All you need to do in here is begin entering the name of a job. So if I type, for example, I'm looking for a job called Market Price 003. If I just type market price, it'll show me all the jobs that start with that prefix. Actually, it will just show me the first dozen or so, but then it'll give me an option to look for all matching jobs, which in this case is 56 jobs. So if I'm now to click on the all 56 jobs, it brings me up a list of all of the market price jobs that start with market price in a table. I can get to this same view without doing a global search by just selecting jobs on the left-hand menu of the main screen. And you'll notice here that I have a filter looking for job names that start with market price. And I've also filtered this down to just the jobs that are currently in a running state or in a success state. So you can see various information about these jobs. You can see their current status, the most recent run. If the job is currently running, which all of the ones on the screen are, you'll notice that it has an actual start time, and then there's a predicted end time of when we expect that job will finish. Various other information is available in this table about the job, and you can actually add additional columns. So all of the properties of the jobs are available in this list of columns, which you can enable. And if you, for example, turn on the standard air file and the standard out file, which are properties that are specific to an AutoSys job, then you'll notice that in the table, we now have additional columns, standard air file and standard out file, which can be dragged and dropped and reordered and resized as you wish. So whichever columns you have selected in this view, you can now, if you choose to export them to a CSV file. This will just download this data directly into a CSV file, which you can manipulate as you would like. You can also filter your list of jobs on other properties by clicking on this filter tab. So you'll see if you want to, for example, only look for a job type of workflow. If you're looking for atomic workflows, you can filter on job type, machine, parent. If you're looking for everything that's in a particular box in AutoSys or workflow in Atomic, you can filter down to just jobs that have a specific parent, etc. And also, as you can see, filtering on the statuses. You can filter on multiple attributes. So, for example, if right now I'm looking for jobs that start with market price. If I want to, I can also add an additional selection where the job starts with LONG, which is another prefix that I know I have jobs with, and now I'll see both jobs that start with market price and long. So this is a really powerful job search utility to help you find jobs that you're looking for by various criteria. Now that you've found the job that you're looking for, let's say I was looking for, in this case, I wanted to look for market price 3, so I'm going to sort by job name, and actually I'm going to just go ahead and change this to market price 3. and I go directly to this market price 3 jobs. So now what you're seeing is our new job detail page, which gives you everything that we know about an individual job. So there's the basic information, which you can see here, as well as common properties of the job that are available to you here. Then there's this second tab, which will show you the related jobs and job streams. So here you can see where the job fits in your environment. So does it have any predecessors? What are those predecessors? Does that job have any successors? In this case, this job doesn't have a successor. And if it's a container, like a workflow, it might have children, so you might be able to see the children here. In this case, this job doesn't have children, but if I take a look at one of its predecessors, I'll take a look at this market price New York 004. Now I'm getting the details about that job. This one doesn't have children, but it is in a parent. So now I can go to that parent, which is market price New York, happens to be an AutoSys box, which you can see right here. So now when I go to the children, I'll see all of the jobs that are inside of that box. You also get to see the status of the jobs inside that box and which ones are currently running. So this is a great way to get a glimpse and to navigate through the predecessor successor hierarchy of your jobs. There's also an interesting area at the bottom of the screen which shows you which job streams within AAI this job appears in, and for each of those job streams, how often is it in the critical path. So I can see that in some cases, market price New York, in some job streams, it's in the critical path 83% of the time. In others, it's in the critical path 0% of the time. So it really depends on what the target job is, whether or not this job will appear in the critical path. So you'll also notice that there's an average runs tab. And if I click on that average runs tab, I'll get all of the information about the average duration of the selected job. You have a graph here, which is going to show you the last, I think it's the last 60 days of runs of this job. So each one of these yellow lines represents an individual run of this particular job. This happens to be a job that runs every 30 minutes, which is why you're seeing a lot of different runs of it. You can use the controls at the bottom of the screen to focus in on a particular area of time that you might be interested in and see the individual runs for that time period. So this really gives you a sense of how the job varies in its duration. You'll see at the top there's a moving average line. There's also information about any variances that this job may have by day of week. So you may notice that it runs at a different interval on Fridays than it does on the rest of the week, etc. So there's all kinds of information about the average run history for this job. And if you want to see the individual job runs for this job, you can click on the Run History tab. This will default to the last 30 days of runs of this job and give you the ability to filter this date range however you would like to take a look at the individual runs. It'll show you the start time, the end time, all of the details of all of the historical runs of this job. So everything that you want to know about a job all in one place is available from this job details page. You can always navigate back to your all jobs and get back to your list of all of the jobs, in this case that started with market price. So the other feature I wanted to point out to you that's now available in the web UI is the integrated context-sensitive help. So no matter where you are, I could be on the jobs page, I could be on the business areas page. If I click on this help icon in the upper right-hand corner, I will get context-sensitive help. This will tell me all about business areas, how to define them, working with tables in general. I can also get to any videos there are about business areas, etc. Once you bring up this context-sensitive help, you can always navigate to the home page from here, and you'll see the ability to explore all of the product documentation for Atomic Automation Intelligence. You can look at the videos that are available. You'll notice that there's all kinds of videos at your disposal for further education about AAI. So Thank you for taking a look at the latest functionality in atomic automation intelligence.